Are you low on zinc? Did you know that wild rice has 4.77 milligrams of zinc in 1/2 of a cup of this uncooked? Did you know that you can also eat this raw? This is how I show you how to bloom some wild rice so you can eat this wonderful food without cooking it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more raw vegan tips like this. Hey everybody! I wanted to show you how to bloom wild rice. This is a way that I can still have rice and keep it raw, because wild rice, there you go, this is one of my bags. See that really dark rice? So it's actually a seed, and that's why you're able to just soak it and sprout it just like you would any other nuts or seeds and eat it raw. But it is super hard, so you do have to go through a little bit of a process to get it to bloom. So let's get to it. So first you take, this is my not so secret trick. I know there's other people doing it, but I kind of combine two techniques to make mine bloom a lot faster. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just placing the wild rice into a food processor, and there's just an S plate at the bottom. And I am going to blend it or process it for about 1 whole minute. And that way it'll kind of give the rice, it'll score it a little bit so that the water can soak into it a lot faster and it'll bloom a lot faster. Otherwise, I've found that I can't get half of the kernels to bloom at all, and then I have a really crunchy, pretty undigestible product at the end. So this is the way that I've found that makes it bloom within 24 hours, and it turns out to be big fluffy kernels, so it's perfect. So I also recommend getting some earmuffs if you have them, or turning it on and leaving the room for the minute that it's on, because it's really loud and it can damage your ears. So I'm just going to put these on. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, didn't I just make rice flour? Well, that's what I thought at first, but come to find out, this kernel is really hard. So hard, in fact, that all of the blade does is make teeny marks on it. It doesn't even pulverize it at all. So you won't be able to tell right now because there's a lot of dust all over it, but let me hold a few up here for you. See, they're still whole. They just have little tiny marks on them, so they're going to bloom a lot faster. So next, you just take this and you get a strainer and you rinse it out in the sink until the sink water runs clear. All right, I'll let that keep draining. My next tip is to put it under some pressure before you put it in your dehydrator. You don't have to put it in your dehydrator. You can just leave it on a warm spot on your counter. I feel that it just kind of speeds it up for me, and I'm pretty impatient and I like things to happen right now, and so that kind of helps me with that. So tomorrow I'm going to have some fresh bloomed rice, and I'll be able to eat it for tomorrow for lunch or dinner if I wanted to. So that's why I do that in the dehydrator. But another technique is to use your, this is actually part of my vacuum blender. I have little carafes that I can put on that will seal all of the air out of it, and that'll just help bring more pressurized water like into the little seeds, and so they'll bloom a lot faster as well. There are plenty of things that you can get just for your mason jar. This comes with different tops that you can put on different size mason jars, and then you can just suck the air out that way as well, and that works just as fine. I just happen to have this blender, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. You're just going to put this in here, and don't fill it more than 1/3. It will expand and fill up this whole thing, so you don't want to fill it much more than that. Okay, once that's done, you just fill them to the top with fresh water. And then you put them in your vacuum. And that's that. And then I go and put this in my dehydrator. I usually keep it at like 105 for 24 hours, but usually I'll go check on it and it's started to bloom, and usually it's filled the top by before 24 hours, 24 hours, something in there. So come see what this looks like tomorrow. All right, so here we are, day 2, and this is what the end product looks like. See, it filled the whole entire thing. I probably could have even done it in 3 just because it fills up so much, but I can tell you that it's definitely fluffy and it's definitely ready. So you see that? Just like the consistency of rice. So now all I do is I drain the excess liquid out and I put it in a storage container, and I like to mix it when I eat it. I make kind of like a guacamole salad, so I'll use kale or dandelion greens, avocados, tomatoes, lime, green onions, things like that, cilantro, and then I'll just make kind of like a big yummy salad, and the rice just gives it like an extra heartiness, so it's really good. I recommend you try. Let me know if you did.